Let's go!
That's pretty amazing.
That is unreal. That is probably the most special bottle I've ever seen in person. 25 years of just getting delicious right here in this glass. That is by far the best sip of whiskey I've ever had in my entire life. This is unreal.
A big thank you to our sponsors for making this show possible.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Fred Minnick Show, presented by Bax's. Hey, if you're like me and you're tired of going to a liquor store and seeing that there's not the bottles you want there, and then you get online and you know the whiskey's way too expensive, I got a transparent pricing place for you. It's called Bax's. Baxis.co is a marketplace for spirits where collectors sell to other collectors. We're buying, we're selling, we're trading, and we're storing our own whiskey, and that's where the good shit is. Go check it out. Go to Baxis.co, use Fred25 at checkout for $25 off your first purchase. And now please welcome my good friend, Jordan Davis.
Fred, what's going on, man?
Good to see you, man.
Happy to be back.
Man, I know you're a big bourbon fan.
Love it.
How'd you get into bourbon?
College.
Oh, yeah?
No, it was, I think once I moved on past college, towards the tail end of my last couple of years at LSU, I ran into a buddy of mine. His dad was big into bourbon. So going down, visiting him, we would go on hunting trips and stuff, and his dad would always bring out a nice bottle. And that was when I really, kind of started to appreciate it. And then it was, I've been on the train ever since then. So that's going back to 2012, 2011.
Right around the time you moved to Nashville.
Yeah, moved in 2012. And now I feel like it's only gotten stronger, only kind of picked up. So
Well, you got your own brand now, so I would say getting stronger is absolutely.
Yeah, Bluebird Distillery out of Pennsylvania. Got the Bluebird Days whiskey, and it was just so fun to go through the whole process. The tasting of it. I mean, it took us probably a month and a half. It was like a really cool, one of those cool moments where you walk in your bar and you have your favorite bottles, and then to get to see a bottle that I had a hand in helping kind of make was really special. Definitely one of the highlights of one of the things that music's allowed me to do.
Yeah. Well, our first drink is going to be right here. Let's get to it.
Let's go.
This is going to be Hard Truth Sweet Mash Rye. That's good.
Golly, that is good.
What is it about Nashville that attracts country?
The history of Nashville, even going back to music, I think what's special for me was, I was born and raised in Shreveport, Louisiana, where the Louisiana Hayride, and there was a big radio station there that for a long time, Shreveport was a huge mecca for, live music. The Hayride was, I think, the first place Elvis Presley ever played. And then as, touring became bigger, it had to get more centrally located. So even going way back to like one of the real reasons why music kind of based out of Nashville was basically to make touring a little bit easier. Going back to the Fisk Jubilee Singers. But I think, there is, something, obviously Bakersfield has their country West Coast sound. But I think being kind of in the heart of what I would think, country music is, being rural, kind of outskirts living. I think that kind of feeds into why country does so well here.
So let's go to that second one.
I'm gonna put the first one down.
Nice.
That's sweet.
It's pretty special.
Golly.
So the next one is Woodinville, which is made in the state of Washington, and it is this is finished in Sauterne cask. So this is bourbon finished in Sauternes, which is like a sweet wine.
Oh, you can smell it.
Kind of like cotton candy or something.
Yeah.
So you moved to Nashville. Oh, that's good. You moved to Nashville in 2012. You get a record deal within the first few years there, and then you start going out on tour. Give me some war stories of those early touring days.
Oh man, the van days.
Yeah.
I've always said that the thing about van touring is it's the most fun that you never want to have again. And we were in a van for 2 years. My first band, I had 4 guys in the band. We had a tour manager, We had a photo guy. So I think all in all we had 7 or 8, and we would do 2-hour shifts. So we took the back 2 rows out of the van, and we put 2 twin bed mattresses back there. And then we had the rotation where if you drove, you had to drive 2 hours. Then you got the first bed, and then you moved over to the second bed, and then as you were moving up to drive, you just slowly worked your way up to the van. I still remember this one night. I don't know exactly where we're at, but you had 2 hours in the passenger seat, and you got to play DJ. So whoever's riding shotgun, pick the music, had to stay up talking with whoever's driving. Because, I mean, we would play a show, get in the van, drive 8-9 hours to wherever we were going the next day. So I'm in the back, I'm sleeping. Fall asleep, 2 hours hits, and I wake up to just this like screaming going on, and I was like, what is happening? And I look out, and we're on the shoulder of the highway, interstate, pitch black, middle of the night. And at the time, my tour manager and my photo guy are just having it out on the side of the highway. And I was like, what's the deal, guys? Like, waking up, I was like, what's going on? And he was like, this guy drove 2 hours and 1 minute and pulled over on the side of the interstate to switch. And there was a Love's gas station like 16 miles down the road. And they were fighting because he was like, you could have just got me to the Love's, man. I could have got a cup of coffee. And I was just sitting in the back of the van like, we've got to get a bus. Like, I have got to get out of the van touring. So it was a grind. And to be honest with you, it's still, those days were a lot tougher than, being in a bus and having a little bit more space now. But, there's no easy way to do it.
So we hit the state of Indiana, state of Washington, and now we're going to go to the state of Missouri. And this is my whiskey club, Club Marzipan. I do barrel picks with my whiskey club, and
That guy.
yeah, that's coming out of the Kansas City area.
Dude, that is awesome. That's a great colored whiskey right there.
Yeah, it's got some proof on it too.
It looks like it might be a little hot.
Yeah, it's packing some heat. You're from Louisiana, so
I can take it.
You're used to that spice.
I don't mind
excuse
it.
me. You're partially from Texas.
Yeah. Partially from Texas. Half Texas, half Louisiana. Maybe dash the Arkansas thrown in there too. Oh yeah.
Oh man, that still hits right.
Goodness gracious.
I love that one.
I'm gonna tell you that out of these 3, all delicious.
Yeah.
This would be the one. Just a back porch,
Yeah.
mild breakfast cigar, and this guy. Whew, I could get in some trouble, Fred.
Yeah, I guarantee it.
Golly, that is awesome. This is in your club?
Yeah, that's my whiskey club, Club Marzipan. These bottles are gone. They've all been bought and sold. But I sell, people who come into the club, they get first access to my bottles. But they usually don't last very long. Do you drink before you get on the stage?
Yeah. When we were in the direct support slot, so we weren't the headliner right before.
Yeah.
We were drinking a little bit too much. We had to slow it down. I was told I should probably slow it down.
Yeah. The record label comes over and is like, hey, you kind of got the songs wrong there.
Yeah, you forgot a few lyrics. Everything was a hair slower, and there's 0 bourbon from your rider left. So I think we know what happened. And it's 9:15.
In addition to maybe not drinking as much before the show, how else have you grown in the last decade as an artist?
I think for me, starting out early, God, I was so green. Even when I took my first tour, because I moved to town to be a songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
I never played a show. I wanted to just write songs, wanted to hear my songs on the radio. So the entire learning how to play with a band, learning how to put a set list together was totally foreign to me. And it took a couple years to kind of feel comfortable on stage to where now, and that's just feeling comfortable with the band and being able to put a set list together that you think is going to work. I think for me, a lot of the growth that I've seen is the crowd engagement. You know, I always go back to like the shows that were really transformative for me was being able to see somebody up there and like truly take a room, whether it be 500 people or 10,000 people,
Yeah.
and everybody's right there in
Yeah.
the palm of his hand. And learning how to, you know, kind of throw an audible or, you know, hey, we're losing them here and we're going to 2 ballads. We got to switch this up. And
Yeah.
being able to kind of learn that on the fly. That's been, I think, my biggest growth process.
So the next one that I have for you is an exclusive barrel pick with Baxis, that place where, you know, I mentioned at the top of the show,
Yeah.
they're the presenting sponsor of the show, but it's an awesome spot. You can find all kinds of super awesome rare bottles there. This is one of them that's exclusive there, and it's a Russell's Reserve pick, so it's a wild turkey barrel pick, and it's almost 10 years old, but it's 9 years old, and
Can I pick this up?
oh yeah, caress it, talk to it,
Talk to it. Pet it.
take it to a parking lot, you know, do things to it.
I'll pay for your parking. So we're in the great state of Kentucky here, baby.
Yeah. So now we're hitting our fourth and final state, because actually no, I have one other thing for you that's actually not even from this country. Ba-da-ba-boom.
Boom.
So we got some more sipping to do here.
Yeah, that one, top notch.
That's pretty amazing.
Oh man. Oh boy.
Oh,
Smells
man.
amazing. That's top notch.
Pretty damn good.
Golly, that is unreal. 9 years of just getting delicious right there, baby.
Is this one where you drink the whole bottle of? Feel all right?
I would probably want to go back for more. Yeah, I think I could get through this one and still be good.
Okay. When I listen to music, by no means am I a music critic or anything like that, but when I listen to you, I can't say who your influences are. Like I don't know by listening to you like
Yeah.
who you're modeled after. So I've always wondered like who influenced you from country music to be who Jordan Davis is today.
It truly goes back. I mean, it's a 36-year, you know, list of influences. Early on, my dad was a huge songwriter fan. So, you know, driving with him, we had a place that we would go. My dad was a big deer hunter, and so I would always go with him, really just to spend time with my dad. And he would listen to this oldie station, you know, that played 70s, 80s, everything from Temptations to John Denver, and he had this one CD. It was John Prine, Bruised Orange record, and he would wear that thing out. And so I truly, I would say my first influence was John Prine, like
Yeah.
the songwriting, the storytelling, and then he had a friend of his that, you know, this was coming into the burnt CD era.
Oh, the good old days.
Yeah, and he had a friend of his that found out that I liked John Prine too. And again, I'm 10 years old, 9 years old. And he burnt me a CD with his favorite John Prine songs on it.
Wow.
And so me and my dad would just wear that thing out. So it was Sam Stone, late John Garfield blues, you know, Hello in There, just these unreal, perfectly written songs. And then you go into middle school, high school, and you're listening to what your friends are listening to, and you're listening to Black Crowes, Allman Brothers, Southern
Yeah.
Rock and Roll, Dave Matthews, R&B. I was a huge Usher fan. Like it really is just a mixed bag of so many different artists, musicians.
Could you
that
see yourself doing some hip hop?
I would like to say yes, but there's probably a lot of people that would say no. I feel like that kind of phrasing, the R&B phrasing, to me, was so cool. Like the way Usher phrased, you know, lyrics, like that was something that I was like, it just, I don't know, it just floored me, you know. And I feel like I've taken that, you know, the phrasing of whether it be R&B or, you know, rock and roll. Black Crowes were a huge influence on me. And I've just kind of tried to mesh that with how I think and again, I don't think that I am anywhere near the songwriter that John Prine was, but at least take that phrasing and that way of delivery and try to approach it the way that John Prine approached it. It really is. It's a mixed bag of influences for me. And you saying that actually like means the world to me. It's like, you know, I don't ever want to be somebody that can be like, oh, that guy's like this guy.
Well, I got a treat for you. And actually, this is something that, you know,
I know that label very well.
when we had the
Not
opportunity.
that exact label, but I know Michter's very well.
When we had the opportunity to sit down together again, I was like, you know, Jordan's has had some great things happen to him since he came on the show last. Buy Dirt was like an overwhelming hit, huge success. I kind of wanted to celebrate with you. And so I went through my collection to see what I had that was very special and see if there was something that I could bring to you. And these are the last drops that I have of a 2020 Michter's 25-year-old.
That is
And-
probably the most special bottle I've ever seen in person. Dude, Fred, that means the world to me. Thank you very
Absolutely.
much, man.
It's an honor to have you back. And I've got, let's enjoy this, and I'll tell you what's going to happen next to this bottle.
Yes.
Because I don't want to freak you out.
No, hey.
I might freak you out here in a second.
With this in my hand, I'm down for anything. Hey,
Cheers.
Fred, thank you for having me back, man.
Absolutely.
Good night of living.
Oh well, you know what? I'm just going to smell it a little bit more. I was
I'm about to say, I'm not trying to rush this. When's the cutoff for this? Because I'm going to truly try to drink this one in.
Okay.
Literally.
There's no cutoff.
25 years of just getting delicious
Yeah.
right here in this glass. Hey, first sip together. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
You know, that, I mean, it's not surprising that is by far the best sip of whiskey I've ever had in my entire life. Good night of living. So Michter's is like the at home. That's like my nightly.
Oh wow.
Michter's, Weller's, obviously not this bottle, but that is, I mean, I don't even know how to put that into.
You know, and the beautiful thing about this Michter's 25 is that it's not over oaked, and there are so many bourbons that north of 15 years old are stringent and over oaked, and this is just butter on the palate, just like dripping all down my jawline like butter. I get notes of marzipan. I get caramel, nougat, get nutmeg, get like, you know, pancakes, maple syrup. There's just so much going on in this.
Definitely the maple.
There's so much.
That is delicious.
It's beautiful.
Hey,
Let me-
I can't thank you enough for allowing me to get to taste this.
Absolutely.
This is unreal.
There's like one drop in there. Let's see.
There it was. That was it.
So now here is the.
But I say, what are we doing with that bottle?
So here's the thing about this. All right. So this bottle has sold for as much as like $20,000 at auction. It's hugely counterfeited.
Yeah.
So when, you know, why I work with Baxis, you know, they're very good at authenticating bottles, and, you know, we're part of a group of people that do our best to try to stop counterfeiting in this business, and it's still going to happen.
Yeah.
But what will happen is, like, if I were to throw this away, there's a good chance that somebody, and people do dig through my garbage.
Absolutely.
It does happen. There's a good chance that someone will find this, refill it with something, and sell it on the secondary market as something else. So whenever I get a bottle like this that's in this high value range, I destroy it. And I've never done anything like this before.
Am I going to get to see this?
Yep.
Let's go.
I just don't know how hard I should go.
I think you should.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Ready? 1, 2. Oh shit! That didn't break. I didn't hit it that. I mean,
No.
I didn't hit it soft.
Fred, you got it. You got it, though. You got it.
I got to go a little
I
harder.
think you got like 30% more and we're good.
I broke the table it was on.
One. There you go. One good smash. That's perfect.
Well, you
That's
see,
perfect.
I broke the table.
Yeah. But I think if
One more smash?
Yeah.
All right, we do got a little crack here.
all right.
I broke the table even more. That bottle ain't breaking. All right, so I broke, just hitting it, I broke the thing. So I'm just going to put it here like that. This fucking bottle's indestructible.
Dude, I mean, it's thick.
All right, here we go.
Let's go! Let's go! Look at that. We're both safe.
It did whack my eye, though.
Did it?
Yeah,
You good?
but I got glasses.
I know. You're good. You're good.
Got a little glass on me.
We got no glass in. We're safe up here. Hey,
Oh, man. The crew is not going to like cleaning this up.
it actually bent the look. It bent the frame of. That's how powerful
That
that bourbon is.
that bottle was thick. Look at that.
Dude.
That's like a windshield almost.
I mean, when you're carrying something that tastes like this,
Yeah.
you gotta have. It needs to be protected.
Well, there ain't no way motherfucker's gonna counterfeit that shit. You know what I'm saying?
I think we're safe on that bottle. Yeah.
I do got one more for you. This is a little bit of a surprise for you.
Come on. You know you have the best podcast in the history of podcasts, right?
Oh, thank you.
We just got back from Canada.
Did you?
Little Canadian whiskey.
I love Canada.
Dude, I'll tell you
Oh, wow, look. Is that a shard of glass right there?
yeah, but I actually pulled it up here, so it
Oh,
didn't
okay.
like land there. But
Okay. That'd have been cool.
I had a this is a bartender story. I had a guy come in and was like, "Hey, can I just get?" It wasn't like a super nice bar that I was working at. It was more of a wine bar, but we had a few,
Yeah.
decent bourbons. And he was like, "Hey, I'll take a whiskey and ginger, something like that, some kind of whiskey and soda." So I pour him a Canadian Mist and Diet Coke. Go give it to him. He's like, "What's in this?" And I was like, "It's a Canadian Mist and Diet Coke." And he was like, I don't like Canadian whiskeys."
Oh.
Sends it back, and I was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "Can I get you anything else?" He's like, "Yeah, I'll just take a Crown on the Rocks." That happened. That was a real story that happened to me at a bar. And I thought he was messing with me. Because I just kind of started laughing. I was like, and he was like, "Yeah, just Crown on the Rocks." I was like, "Oh, okay. All right, I'll do that."
That's the thing about Canadian whiskey. It is basically monopolized. It's not a real monopoly, but Crown Royal like dictates it. And I'm like, if more people came out with Canadian whiskey like this,
Yeah.
which I'll tell you what it is after you taste it, but there's not a lot of Canadian whiskeys
To be honest,
that
the nose is interesting.
it's actually older than what you just sipped.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Hot.
Yeah.
Hot.
So this is another bottle that is on that rare whiskey spot, Baxis,
Yeah.
and it's 162 proof, 28 years old.
28.
Yeah.
Golly.
Hey everybody, Fred Minnick here, and for a long time I've been buying bottles everywhere. I've got a new place for you that you don't have to go into a random, weird, seedy grocery parking lot with a sack full of cash. You can go online to a place called Baxis.co and buy real, authenticated, rare bottles from collectors just like me and you. You'll see the bottle's past sales history, what others paid for it, and the bottle's real-time market price. I mean, seriously, you can see what it sold for at its lowest point and its highest point. Use my code FRED25 to get $25 towards your first purchase on Baxis. Cheers.
Yeah, you're definitely going to need a very, very mild cigar with that guy. It's great, though.
It's tasty. You got warmed up to have that proof and the age. You know, we had a higher proof one there with the Club Marzipan pick, and then that Michter's 25 kind of wet your palate for the age.
Michters can do no wrong in my eyes, but this is awesome.
Well, cheers, my friend.
Hey.
Such an honor having you on the show again.
You're the best.
And I just think the world of you. And man, it's just so great hanging out with you again. And I'm so proud of you and excited for everything that you're doing. And you are genuinely a leader in the country music space because
Appreciate
you are
that, man.
unique. You are unique to you, and you've got the most random fans all over the place. Like I
Yeah.
remember last time you were on, I had a guy from England hit me up and say like he's trying to do his music after you and like how much of an inspiration
Yeah,
you
that's
are.
crazy.
So I just gotta say, man, keep doing what you're doing, and thanks for having us fans along for the ride.
Hey, man, I'm going to echo it right back at you. Appreciate you for the support, for having me on second time now.
Yeah.
And truly, thank you for today. Thank you for this. And I'll see you
All right, man.
soon.
Cheers.